Whenever I post something about VDM here, there is this very strange, but then the strange comment comes in mass. It comes in high numbers, And when it comes in high numbers, it comes from a place of conviction. That comment repeated itself last time, this very last time that I posted about VDM and the need for people to support him and his voice and his cause and the fear factor about VDM. What is that very comment? That comment goes, VDM has government backup. VDM is actually working for politicians. Whatever picture they are trying to paint, what they're actually trying to say is that VDM somehow got his immunity from the federal government. You get it? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. First of all, understand that I'm not here to say that VDM does or doesn't have, because it's not in my place to say. Right? It's not in my place to say. It's not also in your place to say. No matter how much we trust people and believe in them, they can, decide to betray us tomorrow. But then, not until you have data. You see this thing called data. Anything that I do here, I leverage data so much. Whether I'm talking about the music industry, I'm talking about real life, I'm talking about politics, I'm talking about entertainment, whatever. I leverage data. Whatever I say, I do. I always try to leverage data first. But if I ask you, where do you get that very information? From which place? From what place does it come from inside of you to confirm or to say that VDM is actually working for the federal government or any form of government at all, or any form of higher power that is in the political office? If I ask you, trust me when I say the information you're going to provide me with is going to come from a place of guesswork, assumptions, what your emotions and sentiments fit you. But that's not what we actually want here. What we want is, let's leverage data first of all. First of all, how did VDM came about? That is the first thing you need to ask yourself. Now, the answer is VDM came from a source that has more influence than real life, which is where online. In my past video yesterday, when I was talking about the fear factor about VDM, what that seems to be very intimidating about VDM, what people fear the most about VDM, I mentioned something. I said, your voice holds much influence and value online currently, more than it holds much influence and value offline. Reason is because we are in the content era. All thanks to this very black app. We are in the content era. Gone are the days when social media was just for the well-off. Gone are the days when social media was just there to just benefit the well-off, the comfortable. You have to struggle, put in a lot of works, put in almost your life before social media recognizes you. This very black app came and changed the very narrative that it's actually benefiting the poor and benefiting the rich. Matter of fact, the poorer you are, but have higher creativity or higher sense of purpose, the more rewarding it's going to be for you. And this is the reason why I said, and I'll keep saying, that this world has never been this busy. Everybody is busy. Every single person is busy online. In one word or the other, they're engaged. Every now and again, we always see people with their smartphones. Every single second, you're always checking up your notifications. And there are more interesting things to see in your smartphones once you enter any content media, especially this black app. I call it the content media. I don't call it social media. It's just content, right? The algorithm works on content. It was actually engineered and wired to pick contents, reward contents, reward the creators. It was since the emergence of this very black app that other social media platforms started feeling the heat and all that, because they were blessing voices. That was how and when Very Dark Man rose into prominence without even preparing for this very thing. That is number one, data. They grew this very niche alone. I mean, this is the first time digital activism has been taken so very far. You can even say that this is the very first digital activism in Africa. Digital activism. Now, you can't even say whether VDM is a graduate or not, but his influence, his confidence and boldness in the face of truth in a place like this country, Nigeria, that is the data you need to leverage on first before you start seeking about any government official he's actually working for. Because as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't seem like so. I said for the very first time, people are feeling the sense of patriotism. For the very first time, they feel that somebody's actually fighting for them, truly, in all honesty. For the very first time. And this very question will lead me to asking this very question. Why do people believe that this very photo is actually photoshopped? Why? So when the Okoya case came in, it was actually a video and photos, actually. Why didn't you guys even think? Why didn't we read or see where you people made such commentaries? Like it could be Photoshop. That was the reason why EFCC didn't go after the Okoyas. Why didn't you people say this thing? Must we have this bunch of hypocrites in every family? Must we? Why didn't you guys talk about that same thing? Why didn't you guys talk about AI Photoshopped as a reason why the EFCC didn't went for the Okoyas? He reached VDM turn. you guys started talking about AI. The question is even, why are you even reminding EFCC of their work? Why are you reminding EFCC of their work? The EFCC's work is to move into action, swing into action, VDM being the number one target, right? First thing they would have done, if at all, that the whole thing was actually AI doctored and all that, the first thing they should have done is to go to that club, go, ask of CCTV cameras, interview the witnesses, the bouncers, the waiters, and the managers. They are the EFCC. These are federal government too. For the people who are saying that he works for the government, sometimes look at data first of all before you start considering your emotions or your sentiments or your side of conspiracy. Everybody has that side of conspiracy theory lying gently in them, but yet unharnessed. I've done my groundwork on that very photo. Yes, I have. There's a technical way to know if a photo is actually doctored or have actually passed through the process of editing or AI. One, there's also a process to know manually by checking the timestamps and all those things, zooming in to shake shadows. I've done that manual groundwork, zoomed everything. You see that money? They spray them. They spray them. No, they give excuse for these people. They spray that money. Video spray that money. Stop. Why are you making excuse for these people? Allow them to do their work now. If you look at the money, how it was actually going up and down, you get to see that the other one was actually merging with the background. And the reflection was actually hitting on it was all the very obvious. Nothing to look around there. The money they spray them. Not be AI. Leave EFCC to do their work. We are trying to change this country once and for all. The least you could do was just to be talking this nonsense. If you don't know what to do, most of the times if I go to people's posts and I don't know what to say, I just do what? Shut up. I know they talk. If I say that what they are saying doesn't resonate with my theory, my philosophy I move. You should do that sometimes. Don't they talk? If you want to say something from a place of you have something to say, not because you want to be heard. You're a man, you're a woman. Now we are talking about content right now. You still tell me that this guy, this Nguma, is working for government. You still tell me that this guy is working for government. This is content era. If you're naked for your house, if that's what you do here, some people are busy trying to fix the country with their niche. If all you do here is to make work comedy, some people are not here to do that. This is content era. Content, they didn't say skits era. Content means anything. There are too many thousands of things you can actually do here. Thousands of things. That is the reason why since the emergence of this very black app, so many talents has been discovered. So many niches has been created. Look at Lucky. Look at Gege. Look at VDM. This is the very first digital activism that's ever happened. Let me speak for Africa. So the influence of content is too much. Don't neglect it. If I ask you one or two things that happen around you today, you don't know. But if I ask you all that happened on your phone, you do know that. That shows that you spend so much time on your phone, on what your smartphone provides. Because there are too many interesting things, more than your immediate environment, you get to see online. It's a programming. So the force you see behind VDM is a reflection of people's frustration. What you see back in VDM is a reflection of the collectiveness of people's frustration. Yes, that is the reason why you see that very force. All these places that VDM went and put pipe bomb water, which government supposed run for a long time, and these people felt the joy, they will consider VDM as their president. That is the only name they know. That is how they will internalize it as this is their personal Lord and Savior. Content era. Whatever you are doing here, let me give you as an advice. Whatever you are doing here, be intentional about it. That is the reason why I'm not surprised people like Pella. People like Pella is redefining the streaming industry. I'm not surprised that he is there. Look at the niches everybody created for themselves. To answer this very question, this very thing that I've been seeing here, this very strange, small, little-minded question. I don't see it. First of all, leverage data. Then if you can't get something reasonable, then you are free to do with your emotions. But first of all, consider data. Governments that avoid person. When I say they work for government, stop making excuses for EFCC. That thing is not doctored. They know doctor and they know editor, they know go AI. They spray. I'm see the one way Kokopi, carry for hand. If you see picture where the doctor, you go know. Now look at VDM's trouser. You see that trouser where he wear? To tell you that guy is one of the realest persons I've ever seen. That trouser where he wear, normally maids they go club where they are in wear a normal designer, so but waiting, dude, you go no say yes, na madman wear am. If you see that, you go not say him fight with person. If you see how dirty that trouser day, you go not say him go club, go fight with person. So his own activism is not TikTok and Instagram and Facebook based. They do am for outside. I say, look that trouser, that in a dirty. No be drink, but that they touch am. In touch person. Realest guy. They know edit time. He didn't even consider. And I me just zoom am. I said, this is not be designers now. I say, video go fight for club. So this is to answer your question whether the government they back him or not. There's no government. There is no government. Until there is none. If you're actually a content creator, you should ask yourself a question.